Hi, and welcome back. So, in this video, we're talking about the second key to being a high performing leader. And this is going to be a huge surprise for a lot of you. And I'm not being sarcastic or anything, this is actually going to be a big surprise. A huge part of being a high performer, and perhaps the most important, and it's like the groundwork from which high performance and creativity and flow of ideas can come from, is to you being whole. And what does this mean, you being whole? That means you not having anything running in the background for you. No anxiety about anything, no broken promises that you're feeling guilty about, nothing you're avoiding, conversations that you should be having. And it's as simple as that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take an inventory of everything that's in the background for you that you haven't dealt with. You're going to grab the worksheet and you're going to fill it out, every questions around the wholeness section, every question. You're going to look at what is that you're hiding out about. There might be things that you're even lying about. I'm a little hesitant to share this, but I will anyway. When I was going through my divorce, my performance went down. And it wasn't because of the divorce, it was because what I was hiding out about. And that was that on the outside, I wanted to present this image of me and my ex-husband to be get along great. We got this thing sorted out and we love each other. And, he's great and I'm great and all this. But what I was really hiding out about is that there was a lot of toxicity between us, a lot of stuff that I wasn't willing to admit. I wanted to look at somebody mature enough who can deal with separation, who can deal with the process. And there was many times I got tripped up and it wasn't great. And I wasn't great. I wasn't great to him. But what I was pretending on the outside was like, oh yeah, he's such a great guy. I would say all these nice things about him while thinking otherwise. And that was the inauthenticity. And I knew that every time I said he is a great guy and thinking, oh my God, what a jerk. It was in the background for me. That's what I was hiding out about. I wasn't being real about what I'm actually feeling. And not in a real, like, I'm just going to talk shit about him, because that doesn't work. But admitting my internal resentment and dealing with it versus just pretending it wasn't there. Okay. And it might be smaller things. Like I've had employees in the past and they weren't performing, and I was avoiding the conversation and telling them, hey, you're performing. Either you step up your performance or I'm going to let you go. But I was avoiding this conversation. And because I was living in fear, because I don't know if I can run this place without you, but at the same time, I know I can't run it with you, I was acting out of fear. And it was totally in the background, and my performance was zero. So I want you to start looking at what is the things that you're avoiding, you're in fear about, and write them down and start dealing with it. Because you're not going to grow your business and perform on a high level if there's stuff in the background you're not dealing with, okay? And so that one piece to it. And the other piece to being whole is simply just doing the things you know to do. And in the bonus materials, when I go through some of the practices, and you can actually design a list of practices that work for you. But just start with this. What is the things when you don't do, you don't perform? And for me, it's definitely exercise. And when I don't work out for a couple of days, it's this blanket of guilt that comes over me, and all I can think about is, I should and I don't want to. I should and I don't want to. Instead of just putting my running shoes on and getting out the door, I spend so much energy resisting it. So you're going to write down those practices too that you need to do. Or maybe it's calling your mother or spending some time with your kids. Whatever it is, when you don't do, you have guilt come over you and you cannot perform. All right. So go ahead and do those exercises. And in the next video, we're going to talk about accountability.